I feel like this intro is just like the epitome of phoning it in. Like the player ship doesn't even try to dodge stuff. It just sits there. It just takes it. Like they couldn't have programmed a slightly more intriguing intro. They're like, yeah, the levels speak for themselves. Screw it. I'm not saying it's lazy, but it's definitely a little lazy. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play 1000 Games. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and today we are playing our 350th game, and for that game, we are playing Gorf. The evil Gorfian robot empire has attacked your assignment, and your assignment is to repel the invasion. Oh god, this is so fast. You will engage various hostile spacecraft. We have to kill aliens. That's the basic premise of Gorf here. Gorf, today we're going to be playing on multiple systems. We're going to be trying it on Atari, BBC, ColecoVision, Commodore, and more. Actually, not and more. That's probably about it. We're getting a little sneak peek at Gorf here. Of course, we're starting out with the definitive arcade version. Gorf stands for Galactic Orbiting Robot Force, which basically is code for a Space Invaders and Galaxian clone. Despite the fact, though, that this is kind of a clone game, has a number of firsts. We'll go ahead and slap some quarters in, and we'll continue to talk here. I'm going to only really do, like, one good run on each system, so I guess I'll insert a few quarters here. Gorf, actually, one of the interesting features is you could continue to put in quarters at the beginning of a level and just buy ships. So we have purchased 21 ships here. We're going to be playing Gorf for a while. The other firsts that Gorf features are things like having multiple stages. So as you can see, the first level is a blatant rip-off of Space Invaders. I mean, it's literally, there's Space Invaders characters. This would be like if somebody made a Mario game that was not only like a clone of all the gameplay, but it had Goombas and Koopas and stuff in it too. Like, it's, they were like, you know what? We're just straight up ripping off Space Invaders. You know, try and stop us if you can. This sort of thing was not too uncommon back in the early days of gaming. I feel like back in the early days of everything, it was just always the Wild West. Like, you look at the early days of the internet, and it was just, like, freaking nuts what people got away with. In the early days of gaming, people were like, forget it, man. Like, why invent our own ideas when so many good ideas have been put out there? We're just gonna go and copy what other people have done and just do it. Not even necessarily do it better, just do it. Some games did it better, like this one. Oh, bam! Some did not. Here's the Galaxian stage. So we've graduated. We went from Space Invaders to Galaxian. So we're slowly working our way up in gaming culture. This would be like if you made a Mario ripoff game that had a Sonic the Hedgehog level, basically. I guess that would be the equivalent. Or maybe it had like a Donkey Kong and a Mario level or something. Other firsts for this game include the ability to cancel your laser. So if, let's say you shoot your laser up at the top of the screen, you realize it's about to miss. Hold on, I can't do it right now because there's too many ships. All right, here we go. So if I fire again, it like instantly cancels the laser and I can shoot again. So I mean, I guess that's like a feature. Oh god, I was messing around too much. Good thing we have 21 ships. There's no way these guys will defeat us. The nice thing about being able to enter so many lives is we're gonna get to see like all the levels pretty easily. Here you're fighting like kind of a TIE fighter thingy. As you, I guess, go through hyperspace or something. I don't quite understand what's supposed to be happening here. Maybe a star is exploding. I don't 100% know. What are other firsts? This game apparently had synthesized digital voice audio, although I don't know if we got to hear it. I don't know if it works too well in this, in MAME here, which is what I'm trying this on today. But anyway, this is the 350th episode of my quest to play through the book 1000 Games. Just play before you die. Gorf seemed like a great game to play because it simultaneously came from the golden age of video games, but it also sort of had references to things like Space Invaders and Galaxian. So it felt sort of like a good game for that. Also, you can move up and down, which is kind of cool. Oh god, you can't do that in Space Invaders. So, you know, advanced features here, people. Advanced features. This is actually a boss level. This is one of the first games to ever feature a boss level. So there you go. So that's another first for good old Gorf here. Coincidentally, Gorf is frog backwards. So I don't know what that's all about, but it's a thing. But another reason why I wanted to pick Gorf today is because Gorf, like many games from the golden age of video games, was just released on about every system that you could possibly imagine. Like, you go check out the Wikipedia page for this, it's like, it was on arcades, and Atari 800, and 2600, and 5200, and 7800, and Commodore 64, and the VIC-20, and it was also on the BBC Micro, and the ColecoVision, and, like, literally everything. I think there's even a port for the Atari Jaguar CD, which is, like, that's the most obscure thing you could ever come up with. Oh, we died at the boss. I thought I bought 21 ships. Did he kill 21 ships? Is that game over? Wait, I have 15 ships left. What happens? Oh, you just go back to the beginning. All right, well, we've seen Gorf on the arcade. I'm going to continue talking about Gorf, but part of today is going to be comparing Gorf on just a big old handful of different systems. So how about next we see what it looks like on the good old Atari 800. So you've seen the arcades. How does the Atari 800 stack up? All right, Atari 800, show us what you're made of. The evil Gorfian robot empire has attacked. Wait, I thought Gorf was the good guys. Your assignment is to repel the invasion and launch a counterattack. You will engage various hostile spacecraft as you journey towards a dramatic confrontation with the enemy flagship. Man, at least we could read the intro on this version. So the Atari 800 was Atari's sort of home computer system. And we'll also check out the 2600, which I think was more common. Oh, we just skipped the title screen there. The 2600 I think was more common. I knew more people who had a 2600 growing up. I never knew anyone with an 800, but the 800 was a thing, so interesting to see how these home ports translate. So yeah, this is my 350th episode. I've played a ton of games so far. I mean, I played 350 games. We've played on all different kinds of systems, all sorts of genres of games, many awesome classics, many games I'd never heard of before. It was just sort of, it's been a great experience. But I realized that there's a lot of systems that, like, I just never play, you know, like the Atari 800. How often do I play an Atari 800 game? I've done it like a handful of times, but not all that much. So I thought Gorf would be a great opportunity for us to see one game on a ton of different systems. So it's kind of just an excuse for me to go and, like, try as many of these old random systems as I can. So this is sort of like a blitzkrieg of sorts through gaming history. As far as this game holding up on the Atari 800, I mean, the gameplay feels very similar to the arcades. Interesting bit of trivia, though. On all the home ports of Gorf here, they took out the Galaxian level. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, we just skipped right past the Galaxian level. The reason is because the Galaxian level was a ripoff and there were some trademark issues. Surprise, surprise. Who knew that ripping off a game pretty much wholesale could lead to some publishing problems for that game? But these warp levels are still here. The boss levels are still here. So we're going to get to see all that good stuff. I kind of want to make sure I more or less make it through all the levels on every system. But we have so many systems to try out. I don't know. You know, we're going to try and make it to the boss on every system, but we only have so much time today, guys. We just got to get through these games. So, like, my main thing is to try and not screw up and die too badly. Oh, man, if these stupid, like, twirling pink and orange dots, if they could just die already. It's, like, easier to hit them when they're, like, really small than when they're big, if that makes any sense. Because, like, they start to move so fast when they're big that it's just like, good luck! Oh, he hit us. Are we, like, dead? Did we not make it to the boss? I think we screwed up bad, guys. Okay, we'll give this one more shot. We do gotta move on to the other systems, but, like, I wanna give it the old college try here. Back when I played Space Invaders for my channel, I said there's two strategies when you're playing Space Invaders. You can kind of hollow out the middle, or you can kind of take out the sides. And Space Invaders is a very interesting game because, like you can work on it column by column, or you can work on it like row by row, or like segments. I like to take out columns because it gives you more time when the guys are going left or right to, like, to hit the rest of them. Like, if you just hollow out the center, then they're going to sort of hit the left and the right side of the screen faster, and they'll move further down the screen, so you'll have less of a chance to actually kill them before they come down and kill you. Also, I like how in Space Invaders and in Gorf here, like, as soon as the aliens get to the ground level, your guy just gives up. He's like, well, they beat me. Oh, did I just lose 2 lives there? Did you see what happened there? I died, and then it respawned me right where I died, and there was another enemy, and the other enemy killed me. That is such nonsense. Oh my god. That's ridiculous. Another sort of interesting little thing about Gorf here, by the way, is that The spaceship in Gorf, the main spaceship, damn it, is supposed to look like the Starship Enterprise. Gorf was actually originally planned as a tie-in game for Star Trek, the motion picture, which, I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's like a generic space-style game. Oh my god. Let's get away from this thing. Jesus. They decided not to tie it in, though, with the movie, because basically the developers read the script for Star Trek, the motion picture, and they were like, we can't make a game out of this. And they're like, forget it. We'll just name it Gorf, and it'll be wildly successful. And so it was. They didn't even need the Star Trek brand name. I mean, I could have told them, if they had asked me, I was a baby at the time, but if they had asked me, I could have told them that, you know, Star Trek doesn't make for the greatest action video games. I mean, I love Star Trek, don't get me wrong. Star Trek, in fact, The Next Generation is like one of my favorite shows growing up. But like, honestly, it's like a thinking man's sci-fi. It's like if you want to make a game about like philosophy and ethics, then Star Trek is your brand. If you want to make like an action game, go to Star Wars or something. Hey, we made it to the boss! Yes. All right. We didn't defeat the boss. Oh god, we didn't defeat the boss last time. I think you... I think you have to shoot it in the engine till the engine explodes. Okay, it got us. It got us. You know what? I'm having a hankering to play some Atari 2600. So let's go see what the Atari has to offer us when we add 3 times the numbers, 800, 1600, 2400, 3 times and more. It's 3.25 times better, the Atari 2600, than the 800. Let's check it out. Ah, the good old Atari 2600, where abstract shapes and dots would blink at you until you died. You really had to use your imagination on this one. The Space Invaders, oh god, are starting to look a lot less like Space Invaders and more just like abstract collections of pixels. They're just really a blob of pixels that are out to get you. Every Atari 2600 game I've ever played uses the same sound effects. Oh god, things are getting quite fast, actually. It's this sort of... Every game uses that. Boom! Gotcha! Alright, so this one... Jeez. I don't even know what this level's called. This one's called, like, Laser Blast or something. Jeez, things move so fast. Oh my god, how are you supposed to do this? They amped the difficulty up on this one. Oh my god, did I pass a level? Or did I die? No, I died! You jerks. Oh god, there's still one of these things flying at me. What is this? It's like an evil V that's like really out to get me. Oh my god, and I died. Damn it. Yeah, surprisingly, it is harder on the 2600. Which, I mean, maybe that shouldn't be a surprise. Come on, you bastard. He's so low. Come on. Ah. Yeah. I just can't get this guy. Oh, I think I got him. All right, now what? Oh, you can't move forward or backwards in the Atari version here. Okay, so now we're in the twirly version, but they didn't have enough processing power to draw the lines. Damn it. Oh man, you want to know another interesting bit of trivia for Gorf here? They originally planned to make a sequel to Gorf called Ms. Gorf. I guess they were kind of going for the female audience, kind of like a Miss Pac-Man style of marketing or approach to making games. Which is weird because I remember reading that like Pac-Man was designed to appeal to women to begin with. So it's like they had Pac-Man, it appealed to women. They were like, you know what would really sell is like a version of Pac-Man that like really appealed to women. And they went for Ms. Pac-Man. Okay, we died. We're gonna give this one another shot, just because I would like to at least see the boss in every platform that we try. But again, we're not gonna spend too much time on any one platform here. But yeah, they thought Ms. Gorf would be a thing. Which now the title doesn't make any sense. Gorf I thought was the good guys. Apparently it's these are Gorfians that we're killing, so Gorfs are the bad guys. But what is is it like the invasion of the female aliens? Like what would Ms. Gorf even be about? Oh god, we screwed this up bad. The green guys got us. They landed on us. Oh, but it lets us pass the level. It's like, well, you're terrible at that one, but here you go, have a free pass. So if you screw up on the first level, they just let you through. But on the later levels, if you screw up, they don't let you through. If you screw up on the later levels, they're like, no, you gotta beat this like a man. Oh god, stupid TIE fighter got me right away. Okay, so we've seen the arcade, we've seen the Atari 800, we've seen the 2600. Next, I'm gonna be going for BBC Micro, and then I think I have ColecoVision lined up. So I'm excited to see how these all compare. So yeah, so I've been on this quest. For those of you who haven't been following my channel, who maybe are checking me out for the first time, I'm on this quest to play through this book, 1,001 video games you must play before you die. And it's basically just this big book of video game recommendations. Some are old, some are new. I personally gravitate more towards these old style games, so like on my channel I will play old games that aren't in the book just for fun, because if I only played games that were in the book, eventually the only thing left would be like games from the 2000s, and then I would like, as much as I enjoy modern video games, it's like there's just something about these old retro games that I like. They just really appeal to me. They hit my sensibilities just right. So yeah. It's also, it's interesting just to do a little tour like this and like see how one game really stands up on all these different consoles, all these different systems. It's sort of like games don't get this widely ported anymore, you know? Like nowadays, like a game will sometimes come out for like the Xbox and the PlayStation and the Wii and maybe PC too, and then that's about it, you know? Like there's really only like 4 big platforms left for games. Back in the day, there was so much, you know, and beyond the systems I've listed, there's like Amiga and the Amstrad, CPC, and man, there's even more. There's like ones I can't even think of off the top of my head because I'm fighting this evil ship. Oh God! Oh, you can shoot the ship's weapons? Oh, this is not too bad. I don't know how to kill it. Oh, we killed it! On the Atari 2600, we defeated the boss. Oh, we made it to like level 2. So, as you saw in the arcade version on the right-hand side, you may have to rewind, but on the right-hand side, at the very beginning, it showed, like, Space Cadet and then all these other rankings. When you go through the 5 levels and you beat the boss, you go up a ranking, the game gets a bit harder and you keep going. So we just passed the game for the first time together in the Atari 2600. Okay, off to a new system, and we're going to be next checking out the BBC Micro. So, let's do that. Good old BBC Micro. Gorf! Let's see how it defines Gorf. By Dr. Soft, written by Matthew Waltham. Alright, Matthew, show us this masterpiece that you've put together. Your Starship controls are joystick or... what? Wait, caps lock is left. Control is right, and fire is return. Oh God, what an obscure... You know, I bet if we had a BBC Micro keyboard, the buttons would make a lot more sense, but this is bizarre. Space or fire to begin, or return for more options, or further instructions. Whatever, let's just begin. Ooh, look at the colors. That's pretty cool. Okay. So, interesting. So, oh, and the guys are like all moving out of... It's like chaos up there. Look, they're like not even maintaining any sort of semblance of a pattern. What is happening? This port... Matthew Waltham, man, you kind of messed up the port a bit. Like, maybe you were going for something a little unique and different, but that was just chaos. Oh, that guy's going nuts. Look at him. He's like the 7-Up dude. Remember the 7-Up dude? He had like sunglasses. The Cool Spot or whatever was his name. Boom, boom. Oh, they're just sitting there taking it. What, they don't want to fight? What is with this port? This is a bizarre port. It's like the enemies kind of like half gave up on life. Interesting. Okay, they got me. You got me. Can I get you? Just stay still if you would. Oh my God, they go nuts though. Oh my God! Oh, I thought I was gonna get them. Okay, only 2 more birds to kill. We got 1 and 2. You know, it's the buttons are kind of like half messing me up. It like feels very weird to be using caps lock and alt. Boom, there we go. This level is like easier than the other one. I love how colorful this is. I was not expecting this. So for those of you who are not from England, you might be wondering why the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, was in the business of making computers. As far as I understand it, they kind of got into it for educational reasons. I think, what are these guys flying around the mothership? This is so weird. Every version of this game has been just like a little different. I feel like this is the most different that we have seen yet. Oh, and the mothership doesn't like rotate back and forth. Man, that ship is just in pieces. We've like taken it to town. Oh, we killed one of the dudes. Are we supposed to do that, or was that just like a bonus? Because I'm not aiming for them. I'm trying to kill this ship. Oh, get away from me, buddy. But yes, I think it was the Acorn Electron was the actual computer, and then like BBC went in and created like BBC versions of it, or they licensed it or something. I'm like butchering the history of the BBC. If you're curious, it's a computer. It's a thing. This ship is just like literally a few pieces right now. I'm just shooting it in the glowy part because my video game instincts tell me that's what I should do. Boom! Eat it! That ship wasn't gonna land anyway. Well done. Your rank is now Space Cadet. Damn straight it is. Let me at him, Chief. I'm ready to take him out. I love this first level, how like the enemies are just like what happens to them? They just ricochet off the wall and then they just all go nuts. Like they couldn't... So here's my question. Was this a design choice? Did they want it to be different from the arcades? Or was it like they couldn't figure out how to do it? They were like, well, the arcades does it this way, but like damned if I know how they did it. Let's just like guesstimate it. And make something that's approximately similar, because this is not how the arcade does it. This last guy, and even in Space Invaders, is always a pain in the butt. Boom, there you go. It is. You know, I said it was a thing where, like, for all these like old games, they had ports on like 1 billion systems, and one sort of consequence of that is that usually these ports were handled by totally different people. Sometimes totally different developers, but like often these games we programmed by one person. So it'd be like totally different people making these different ports. And so you would get stuff like this, where every port is like a little quirky in its own way. So the Gorfian Hall of Fame. So again, are we the Gorfians? Or is Gorf, like, I don't understand. What does the word Gorf mean? Or is it just frog backwards? Is that its only meaning? I don't know. All right, we've seen it on the BBC Micro. Next, we're going to the ColecoVision. ColecoVision proudly presents Gorf by Bally Midway Manufacturing Co. Coleco, the Connecticut Leather Company. That's true. I'm not making that up. Coleco is a system made by a leather corporation that decided, hey, let's get into video games, because why not? It seemed like a cool thing to do at the time, I guess. All right, I am ready, player one. Oh my god, there's music. Oh my god, and those guys actually look... I mean, they don't look like Space Invaders, but they look like something. I feel like with every version of this, with every iteration of this game, we're getting farther and farther away from characters that look like Space Invaders. Like when it was the arcade version, they were literally blatant rip-offs of Space Invaders, but here they're sort of like, they're like squishy alien-looking octopus dudes. They look happy and cheery. Like the green guys look like they're just having a blast. They just look like they're the happiest, nicest aliens. So you taking out that white guy in the far left really like open the game up, because now they have to go all the way to the left side of the screen before they kind of move down a row. So that's the trick to Space Invaders and Gorf apparently, is take out the guys on the edges, man. So Gorf apparently is still being played, by the way. I think it was just in 2000. Oh, what the heck? Oh, weird. My ship stopped moving for a second there. I think it was just in 2011 that a new... Oh, is that it? Are there enemies coming back? I feel like this is like a slowed down version of Gorf. The Atari 2600 version felt fast. This feels like very slow. I'm not complaining though. Like it's nice. It reminds me of the first time I ever played Virtual Fighter. I had it on my computer when I was a kid in high school. My computer wasn't good enough to run it at full speed, so it ran in really slow motion. And what ended up happening is I got really good at the game, because turns out when you're playing a fighting game in really slow motion, you can counter absolutely every move. So it was actually really easy. In the way that this game feels easy because it's running so slow. I like it. I dig it. But yeah, apparently in 2011, a new high score was set for 1.1 million points in Gorf here, which is a lot of points. It's a lot of points. Apparently it's the first time a score above 1 million was ever set. So there you go. I don't know if you guys like learning about people who set high records in video games. I feel like there's oh my god, that was it? We just destroyed the mothership. It took like 2 shots. That thing was made of paper mache. The ColecoVision, I've been promoted, damn straight. The ColecoVision version here is so easy. I feel like we gotta like go through it one more time since we're just flying through it so fast. We're gonna run out of versions of this game to play, man. Let's go ahead and just try it again. But yeah, there's some good gaming documentaries out there about people who are like interested in high scores in video games. Like King of Kong is a good one. Man vs. Snake, which I've recommended before, is a great one. They both coincidentally feature Billy Mitchell. King of Kong features him as a bad guy. Man vs. Snake kind of as a good guy. But of course, if for anyone who's kept up with the news, in like recent times, Billy Mitchell has been like publicly disgraced for cheating. Well, okay, here's the thing: he didn't cheat. Technically, well, he kind of did. He basically submitted runs for Donkey Kong to get like over 1 million points or 1 billion points or whatever it was, and he had used an emulator, and he said he didn't. So he basically cheated in that he was claiming. Oh, come on! I can't hit this guy. Are you kidding me? Did you guys see that? He was just dodging every one of my shots. Okay. But apparently, so Billy Mitchell used an emulator to reach the 1 million points or whatever. And there's some good videos on YouTube showing that actually, if you look at even the audio of his 1 million point run, there's like gaps in the audio suggesting he spliced together different runs. I mean, like the guy cheated. So he's been stripped of all his records. Although, like, I will say, there, you cheat, you get what's coming to you. But I don't know if I agree with them taking away all his records, because here's the thing. He was the first person to get a perfect score in Pac-Man, and he did that live. Even if he cheated in Donkey Kong, which it seems very clear, I mean, to me at least, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems clear that he did. But I don't know if you should necessarily take away his Pac-Man record, because that was, like, verified, So, like, I get why they did it. It was, like, a punitive thing for, like, the integrity of Twin Galaxies and all that, but I don't know. For years, I've wished that they would make a sequel to King of Kong where they would actually, like, re-interview him and, like, look at the fallout of what happened with him losing his record and stuff. I think that would be a super interesting doc, but anyway. So people are still playing Gorf. I guess they're playing the arcade version. I guess that's what you would try and set the high score on. I think it's 1.1 million points by Keith Swanson. Took him like 6.5 hours. What just happened? We passed the level. All right, let's blow up this mothership again, and then we'll go ahead and we'll switch to the Commodore 64 version. I think that'll probably be our last version of this that we try out. I feel like we've gotten a good sense of Gorf here on all the different ports. Although it has been like illuminating to try this game on like so many different systems. I want to try and just shoot him right in the good spot. Let's clear away all this shield to get this out of the way. All right, there we go. Come on, you want some? Shoot you right in the safety spot. It's interesting how, like, for the mothership, the mothership gets a shield, as opposed to, like, in level 1 you had the shield. But, like, we haven't seen this shield in every version of Gorf. Again, it's so weird. Like, some ports are just like, forget the shield. Like, to hell with it. We're not programming that crap in. Boo! We dominated! Man, this makes me wish I had a ColecoVision when I was a kid. I think this is, like, the second or third ColecoVision game I've ever played on my channel, and we're just blowing through it. We're goddamn Space Colonel. We're killing it. Unfortunately, we have to move on. So, Space Colonel, we bid you adieu. Let's go see this game on the Commodore 64. Ass presents Gorf. Press C to cheat. All right. This is not an uncommon thing with old computer games back in the day. They were often like cracked or trained by different like hacker groups. Gorf on the Commodore 64 here though has a nice intro, just like some of the other systems that we've seen. All right, let's go ahead and initiate. Proceed. Okay, spacebar shoots. Oh yeah, I tested this out before. So tab goes left and 2 goes right. Go figure. I know the Commodore 64 did not have, like, arrow keys laid out on the keyboard in any sensical way. So, yeah, they weren't going to use arrow keys for this, but it's going to make it difficult for us to go, like, up and down. Wait, what's up? One is up? Oh, God. I almost died there having to look down at my keyboard. So these guys are starting to look a little more like Space Invaders. Oh, my God. We're too close to them, but I don't know what the back key is. Oh, we killed them. Oh, God, the game just paused oddly. Okay. Let's kill these guys. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is kind of like somewhere between the ColecoVision and the arcade, I think. This is definitely not as hard as the Atari 2600. So the Commodore 64 was another super, super common home computer. This actually seems like a pretty faithful port of it, to be honest. Except, obviously, missing the Galaxian levels. I wonder why the developers didn't choose to put in like another level. If they were like, well, we can't include the Galaxian level for like copyright infringement reasons, but like maybe we can throw another level in. But they're like, forget it. Because there's like a lot of stuff you could do, like in theory, right? Like you can get really creative with it. Oh my god. Okay. Kill this thing. Yeah. So that spinny level, some versions of this game, that spinny level is really hard. Other versions, it's not so bad. This is the first game where the enemy spaceship, I think, looks really close to the arcade. I kind of forget now. Honestly, it's been like 20 minutes and I'm already forgetting like all the different versions of Gorf here that we've tried. I think when we die here, we're going to go back to the arcade version and I'll wrap up my video there. But come on. Oh, we killed it! We did it! Oh, okay, so what is that? What's our score now? Like, we beat the final level on, like, 3 of the Gorfs? It's pretty good. Like, I like to think that maybe we're getting better at this game as time goes on, but it could easily be. It could easily be chance. Stinking Space Invaders, stop invading us. So, I also noticed, too, that only some of the games... Oh, we almost hit that UFO at the back, but I fired my laser gun and canceled the shot. Damn, that's annoying. I think that guy is a Gorf, the guy at the very top. Different versions of this game also seem to like not bother with the story. Like I don't think the Commodore version here really bothered with the story. Sometimes these games they would have it in the manual, but like not in the game. So I'm sure that was probably it. All right, we're space captains now, by the way. Captain J of the USS Enterprise. These are the continuing missions of our never-ending quest to destroy all the Gorfians. Well, maybe we're Gorf. I don't know. It's kind of like Contra, you know. There's that like YouTube video of oh man, what's it called? It's like oddly named or poorly understood names of game characters, and there's like one for Contra, and it shows like a Contra boss, and he's like, you know, you won't defeat me, you Contras, or am I the Contra? Are you the who's the Contra? You know, like what the hell is a Contra? I don't know. Same with Gorf. It's like, am I the Gorf? Are you the Gorf? Are we teamed up against the Gorfs? I don't know. Oh god, he got us. He got us good. Oh, and that's it. Oh, and you spell your name by like scrolling through the letters. Seriously, can I just type it? Hold on. J. Oh, you can't. Okay, J question mark question mark. Oh, we just started the game again. Okay, well no worries. So we've checked out Gorf on many a system. I think it's time to return from whence we came, come full circle to the beginning of our journey, and sum up our thoughts on Gorf by playing some of the arcade. Let's see if we've improved our Gorfian skills in the arcade version. Can we defeat the level 5 boss in the arcade? Let's find out. Gorf! This is where it all began, guys. Gorf. We're just going to go with 3 ships this time. Boom. So, yeah, Gorf is one of the games in the book 1001 Video Games Must Play Before You Die. I think Gorf is actually a pretty fun game. It's like a nice sort of riff on Space Invaders, and I know it's kind of a blatant clone of it, but I think they do a good job. It's not 100% clone because you have these sort of like static shields, but the different levels are kind of interesting. I wish there were more levels, in fact, but I mean this is like a golden age video game. I mean, oftentimes these games just have one level that repeats infinitely. So the fact that we have 5 different levels and a boss fight is pretty dang unique. I think of all the different versions that we played, the Atari 2600 I thought was actually possibly the most challenging version. It was just fast and hard. The ColecoVision I thought was one of the easiest. I think I had the most fun with the Coleco because I could get the farthest, but I think if I played it long term I'd get bored. So I might actually say the Atari 2600 version is the one that would provide the most challenge long term. And it's interesting too because the 2600 definitely had the worst graphics of any system. But oftentimes for these like old systems, it's like, yeah, nicer graphics can be kind of nice. But what do they really do? I mean, like, whether there's high definition in these little pixel blobs that are coming to kill you or low definition, the gameplay's still the same. Like, the 2600 did a good job of capturing the gameplay. So for that, I'll say kudos. As far as my little quest here, if you guys have never watched me before, I hope you enjoyed today. I hope I made today entertaining. I hope you learned a little and had fun checking out the different versions of Gorf. If I did, maybe you'll like the video. Maybe you'll even subscribe to the channel because, as I say, I'm on a quest to try all the games in the book 1001 Video Games You Must Play Before You Die, and I play other games outside the book on Saturdays just for funsies. So I am constantly trying new games, and if that sounds appealing to you, if you like the idea of just seeing different retro games every couple of days, then hey, maybe you have found a channel that could enthrall and entertain you. Who knows? I won't make that decision for you. I leave it up to you fine people. But the last thing to say is, what do you guys think of Gorf here? What do you think of all these different versions? Did you guys have different versions of Gorf in your house? Did you guys have Gorf? Did you have different versions, and what was your favorite version if you'd play different versions? Or just what's the version that you grew up with, you know? What are your thoughts on Gorf? What are your opinions? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm always curious to hear. Especially if you grew up with Gorf or grew up with it in the arcades. Like, how was Gorf perceived back in the day? Was it considered a good game? Was it considered kind of like a clone or rip-off? Like, I don't know. Like, what was the impression of Gorf back in the arcade days? That's what I would like to know. We did not get past Space Cadet in the arcade, so I'm pretty sure our skill level is Space Cadet. Look at that. Space Captain, Space Colonel, Space General, Space Warrior, and Space Avenger! We're never going to make it to that, though. I think it would take some kind of Gorfian god to make it. The evil Gorfian robot empire has attacked. Okay, so the Gorfs are the bad guys, I guess. Anyway, guys, I've had fun today. I hope you have too. And I hope you'll check me out again sometime. Until next time, my friends, you all take care of yourselves. Continue defending Earth from strange aliens that may invade. And otherwise, peace. Go!